In Search of the Soul, the Elusive Essence. The concept of the soul is one of humanity's most enduring and profound inquiries. It resides at the crossroads of religion, philosophy, and science, a nexus where our understanding of consciousness, identity, and the very nature of existence converges and often collides. To ask, what is the soul, is not merely to seek a definition, but to embark on a journey into the deepest layers of what it means to be. It is an attempt to name the unnameable, to grasp the intangible core that seems to distinguish a living, feeling, thinking subject from a mere assemblage of matter. The soul throughout history has been conceived as substance, form, narrative, and relation, a testament to its elusive and multifaceted nature. The most ancient and intuitive conception of the soul is as a substantial essence, a kind of ethereal stuff that inhabits the body. In many religious and dualistic traditions, from Plato to Descartes, the soul is an immaterial, simple, and indivisible substance, ontologically distinct from the physical body. It is the ghost in the machine, the pilot in the ship. For Plato, the soul, psyche, was immortal and pre existent, a divine spark temporarily imprisoned in the body, whose purpose was to recollect eternal truths. Descartes, in his radical dualism, defined the soul as res cogitans, thinking thing, the undefinable I that exists even when the reality of the body and the external world is doubted. This view offers comfort, promising continuity beyond the decay of the physical form. However, it founders on the infamous mind body problem. How can an immaterial, non spatial substance interact with and casually influence a material physical body? This interaction remains a profound mystery that materialist philosophies argue is insurmountable, suggesting that the concept of a spiritual substance may be a categorical error. Aristotle offered a more nuanced alternative, conceptualizing the soul not as a separate substance but as a form and actuality. In his treatise De Anima, he defines the soul, psyche, as the first actuality of a natural body that has life potentially. Here, the soul is not a ghostly occupant, but the organizing principle, the set of capacities and functions that make a living thing exactly what it is. The soul of an eye, were to have one, would it be its capacity to see? For a plant, its soul is its capacities for nutrition and growth. For an animal, sensation and locomotion are added. For a human, the crowning capacity is reason, nous. This view is powerfully holistic. The soul and body are not two separate entities, but two aspects of a single unified organism, form and matter. The soul is the what it is to be, that particular living being. This framework elegantly accounts for the hierarchy of life and avoids the interaction problem by making the soul eminent to the body's operations, not transcendent over them. In the modern era, dominated by the scientific worldview, the soul has faced a formidable challenge. Neuroscience, psychology, and evolutionary biology provide increasingly complete explanations for consciousness, emotion, and thought in purely physical terms. The once mysterious functions attributed to the soul, memory, personality, decision making, are now mapped to neural networks and biochemical processes. This has led to a materialist rejection of the soul as an unnecessary hypothesis, yet a purely physical account often feels existentially incomplete. It struggles to capture the qualitative, subjective experience of being, what philosophers call qualia, the redness of red, the pain of a headache, the profound feeling of love. These are not fully described by listing the firing frequencies of C fibers or the release of oxytocin. This gap points toward a more phenomenological understanding of the soul, not as an object or a substance, but as the locus of subjective experience and narrative identity. The soul is the unfolding story of a self. It is the integrated tapestry of memory, anticipation, feeling, and thought that provides a sense of continuous identity through time. It is not a thing we have, but a process we are and do. This conception is less concerned with metaphysical origins or post mortem destinations and more with the qualitative depth of a life lived. The soul here becomes a metaphor for our inner world, our capacity for meaning making, moral depth, and connection. Connection. To have a soul is to possess a rich interiority, to be a subject of experience rather than merely an object in the world. Perhaps the most compelling contemporary synthesis is to view the soul as a relation rather than an entity. It exists not in isolation, but in the space between. It emerges from the complex interplay of brain, body, world, and other selves. Our soul is shaped by and revealed in our relationships in love, empathy, conflict, and communication. It is nurtured by art, music, and literature, and is manifested in acts of creativity and moral courage. This relational view reconciles several perspectives. The physical brain is the necessary substrate, the Aristotelian potential. The conscious self is the experiencing agent, the narrative identity, and this entire process is embedded in a cultural and interpersonal context that gives it meaning.